Transformer Show. Welcome to episode 55 of Transformers the Show. On today's show, we've got a review of the new Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. We've also got Mech Fans Toys Brainstorm, a review on that, plus all the news, all the views, all the reviews, and a lovely discussion. Now it's time for the news.
I talk some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
In-hand photos of Kingdom Inferno.
Cool.
Looking pretty sweet.
He looks a bit like Grapple, doesn't he?
Yeah, he looks quite
It's funny that.
It's almost like they're the same.
Very similar.
I just don't think Hasbro would do that, to be honest, Paul.
I wonder what the pegs are like on it. Anyway.
Probably similar to Grapple.
I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you now, Jamie. That thing looks really easy to transform on camera.
Oh, I don't know. Don't underestimate that.
Hey, didn't someone transform Grapple on camera recently in an MP form?
Well, I wonder if it'll have the same peg issue. Let's talk about something that might affect.
Yeah.
Cool.
They look quite nice together. Scales well. Then we had Super 7's Ultimates.
Gary got to Starscream.
Well, I don't think we know exactly what it is going to be, but they're talking about it possibly being kind of a high-end rival to the Red series Transformers.
Oh, so it's not going to have glitter on it?
No, I was wondering about the glitter. You know, just a very glittery Transformer. But
I'm
that's the
very
only image
disappointed.
apparently they've released so far, which I'm assuming is Ghost Starscream.
Oh,
Looking
yeah.
at that would be my guess anyway. But it might be completely wrong.
So
but the
a
translucent
ghost
plastic.
wears glitter.
In the cartoon, he was kind of glittery when he was translucent, see-through.
One to watch out for.
Yeah.
To be honest, in Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, when he turned into the spaceship, aka when he turned into a Transformer, he was quite glittery in that as well, wasn't he, for a period, before he then shot all the bad guys, turned to a spaceship and saved the world, left the kids in the factory, which is weird.
He
so.
did, yeah.
I never watched Moonwalker.
I love the
thought
way
it was
Alexis made the
unrealistic.
connection to Transformers first before going on that tangent. But yes.
Good, well done.
Haslab Unicron. The photos of it from, I think, was
Do
it
you know
Robot Kingdom?
what? I can't wait till I get my Unicron. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rip off that head and throw it across the room just to reenact that scene from Transformers the movie.
It's quite cheap as well, so you can probably do that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
On that at all.
Well,
I think it'll be
you
worth
probably
it.
order 3.
I might keep it.
Have you seen the QC issues on that? On that? I mean, half of them are broken. You don't want one with a broken head on it, do you? You want the one with the complete one there. I want one of those ones.
No one ever wants a broken
These
head.
guys are like, what the fuck is this? Why are
You've
we
got to be kidding me. I've got to
that
load
guy,
these
the guy in the
things.
middle is licking that guy's bum
Yeah.
on the floor. Didn't notice Clive had such a lovely bum.
And that's all the Hasbro news really for this week. There's not too much mainline that's been going on, so we'll go on to the third-party news.
So, X-Transbots are saying that they are listening to their viewers. And I have proof of this, because you remember a while back when I got the X-Transbots figure for Scourge and it had 2 right legs, I finally got an email, a response back on their Facebook page. It said, please email us. I was like,
right.
"Well, at least I got a response. But anyway, so amidst that, they have been listening to the fans. Everyone said, yeah, he looked a little bit too lime green. He looks a bit too pickled, Stringer. So they've gone back and they've made adjustments. And this is them saying before, afterwards, we are listening and making final tweaks before they release their premium version of Vertus. Just alongside as well, there is the Springer Wars, the return, because MMC have now released their too inaccurate version of Springer, which looks the fucking same as the one I bought, so I don't care. And then Fans Toys have also released their version of Springer, re-released from just out of the air. They had some spare Springers, and they're all coming in at around the same price, about £140. So I did what any good Springer fan would do, and I bought all 3 to just compare, and I will then sell the other 2. Be interesting, but I do honestly think that it's going to be Fans Toys or X-Transbots or MMC for the win. Airing on the side of X-Transbots at the moment until I see the transformation. The MMC transformation is so sweet, but it'll be really interesting to see how they do it. I just think Fans Toys now is just a bit chunky, a bit clunky, but we will see. So this is one of the Machine Robo ranges. So Machine Robo, they've released
They could
all
put
of their
it on Transformers,
robots.
haven't they?
Yeah. So there's well, if you remember back in, so when GoBots went bust, Hasbro brought all the GoBots right. So technically now they have transitioned into Transformers, and there was almost that crossover, wasn't there? I think they came from an alternative universe in there where the GoBots were, Because you know the minicons which were
Keep it to the news.
No, the minicons.
The point is,
minicons,
they've done plenty of
like Bug Bite.
They've done plenty of Easter eggs with GoBot characters through IDW.
Well, like Bug Bite. Bug Bite was originally a GoBot, wasn't he? And he.
Do we know which one this is then?
It's Buggy Robo.
Yeah, Buggy Robo.
Was that his name in GoBots then?
I don't know.
I
never watched that.
Don't watch that
Jamie
shit.
loves
Yeah.
GoBots.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not Transformers.
Next.
This is before the face change. As you can see, a little bit pickled.
Wow,
But-
he looks jaundiced.
Sculpt, everything else looks
As
really
long as you got
spot on.
jaundice to fun with, it's not too bad.
Look, as a bot goes, a tool change
Good
bot,
jaundice.
he looks pretty
Way.
clean there.
It's
So-
quite clean on the back as well. You
It's
know?
very clean. It's very clean.
And he does
Yeah.
pose well.
And you do get these little. You get two men with him as well. So you get. If you remember when in season 3 when they turned into, that's Magnus on the left, and that's Spring on the right. I can imagine that's a little bit of a. Are they going to release a version of Magnus?
And it's now over to Rohan. Take it away, Rohan.
Peep, peep. Hello, fat face.
I'd roll like a stone. I'd take you with me and call you my own.
Hello and welcome to Rohans Corner. I am your host, Rohan, of course. Who else would it be? I don't know if there's anybody else on this show. Sometimes Bumblebee turns up. Anyway, I'm going to be discussing about how I got into Transformers. For me, I was born in 1984, December, so very late into the game. Probably like a few of you, I missed out on the first couple of years of the main line of Transformers, the Generation 1 classic toys, until a later time in life. So I actually started off as a young boy, like most of us, loving Thomas the Tank Engine. And so I was pretty much obsessed with Thomas by the age of 1.5, 2 years old.
Oh dear, what will he say? He asked himself.
Buckle up, Vector. This looks like a job for Optimus Prime.
Cody.
So much so that my parents got a little bit worried about me. They thought I'd never get out of Thomas. So they had this brilliant idea. One day my dad went down to Woolworths and he bought me a new toy. Any guesses as to what it is?
Battle this.
It's heavy metal cruncher time. It's Optimus Prime goes toe-to-toe with combat Megatron. Prime is one tough dude underneath his hood. He's a transformer missile fun phenomenon. Combat Megatron is combat armed. His mighty mega missiles are slamming. He can mad up more for use mega force, but coming Optimus is still standing.
All right, Optimus.
Over here.
Yeah.
Transformers Generation 2, new combat Optimus Prime and new combat Megatron. You sold separately.
You got it. Transformers. And so what happened? Well, from there on down, it was a slippery slope. I became obsessed with Transformers, at least from around 1986.
You can trust me, Rodimus. You can trust me, Galvatron.
Introducing the Transformer Double Spy. From a supercar, he can transform into a heroic Autobot or an evil Decepticon. Now discover the clones. Decepticon clones. Look identical, but one transforms into a Puma, the other into a Hawk. To fight Autobot clones, one of these twins transforms into a jet, the other a dragster. Double Spy sold separately, clones sold together from Hasbro.
To around 1994. I think that's probably when Generation 1/2 started to die down and it became more difficult to buy more Transformers. However, during that time it did give me an opportunity to build up a multitude of other memorabilia. Things like audio cassettes, so listening to the stories, comic books, annuals. I'm especially a big fan of the adventure game books. These are really great. If you haven't seen these are one of those change the page to where the storyline goes books. So you can end up with multiple different paths to an ending, and they're not all good. They're really fun and interesting. And of course the complimentary books to go with the audio tapes, which were cool. I remember a time back in somewhere around 2000, I believe it was, coming up to the age of 16, my family went on a family holiday to south of Spain, to Malaga. And as you do, as you're driving down the motorway, heading on some sort of trip to look at a museum or some such, we were passing a Toys R Us, and my brother and I shouted at my parents, wait, we must go into Toys R Us. And my parents were like, what's wrong with you? Have you not got out of your obsession of these flipping toys?
There's a magical place, we're on our way there, with toys in the millions all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us. Soon after bedtime, when dark nighttime falls, Jeffrey and helpers stock up all the shelves. From ceiling to floor, books, board games and bikes, teddies, puppets and dolls, beds, spaceships and trikes. There's millions, says Jeffrey, all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us, Toys R Us, Toys R Us.
And we said, well, it's your fault. You introduced us to them, so sorry. And we went in, we cleared out all the G1 combiner limbs that were still sat there in the bargain bucket bin. And the story continues from there. So my question to all of you is, what got you into Transformers? Is it as silly a story as mine, being obsessed with Thomas the Tank Engine and my parents thinking that we've got to get him out of this? Or was it something even more interesting? Hit us up and let us know. Until next week, I've been Rohan. Back to the studio.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
Thanks, Rohan.
That was a good episode, Rohan.
I really like that.
Much appreciated.
Right, now onto our reviews, and tonight we have two of us have got Studio Series 86 Hot Rod in the house. Jamie, can I ask you to start with this? We're both a little bit excited.
All right, I'll start with this, and I'm just going to share the screen just now and get straight on to this. So yes, I'm talking about Studio Series Hot Rod 86, and basically fantastic character. He's almost like a dream come true. It's like the Hot Rod you never knew you needed, because I really liked the Takara version of Hot Rod, and then you get this character, and then suddenly Takara version doesn't look that good anymore, and he's just got amazing articulation. He's such a small figure because he is Voyager class, but you know, the fact his hands can open up, the articulation's that good, you start to complain that he can't do other things you could just never imagine before, you know. And of course you just wanted to do that sort of dynamic sort of power stance, not too wide though, because the Conservatives have spoiled that, but you know, just get a power stance to show off that power of the Matrix. So I think I spent a whole Saturday setting up that scene, and it was just, that was the joy for me, you know, being able to get a model, set it up, and just basically, you know, let my imagination run riot. You know, so there I am, basically just making, you know, size comparison next to Optimus Prime, Ratchet, Sideswipe, and little Bumblebee there. And, you know, I'm just happy with that size comparison. He fits it there. I mean, he does look like a small Voyager, but when you start to place him up, his size fits well, you know, especially when it comes to me, I love, you know, my characters being in size. And Hot Rod, for me, you know, he just aces this. And I mean, even there, you could just look at the character, you know. I love the fact that when I'm going to discuss a bit later, it's the effort and the detail they've put in there, because he really does look like that cartoon character. And because they've started to use paneling a lot better, which obviously they've taken away from the Masterpiece version, he doesn't need to have these ridiculously large shoulders. And when I say there, you can look there, you've got the Takara version, he's got shoulder pads, you know, like some freaking Dallas reject. You've got the Rodimus, well, you've got the Hot Rod from Power of the Prime there, which I tend to use as my Rodimus because he's a very large Voyager, so he's almost like leader class size, especially with the new Siege line. And you've got Hot Rod in the middle, and the colours just ooze quality. And as I said before, Takara used to be, oh, I thought that was brilliant. Now he just looks pish in comparison. The one thing I would say, I'm a bit disappointed. I mean, Christ, I'm saying I'm a bit disappointed. I mean, Jesus, I'm making this stuff up almost, but I do wish that Hot Rod's, you know, fin tail at the back there had a little bit more shade of different yellows in it. See, this is what I mean. I'm talking about different shades of yellow. You know, rather than just a complete yellow, you know, at the back there. You know, but yeah, so there is the model there. Just absolutely wonderful. I mean, it just looks solid. There's no gaps really. You know, to me, it's like that mini masterpiece. It really is. It's like it's bridging that gap. And if it means I'm paying 30 quid for a Voyager with the accessories and no gaps and having this type of, you know, engineering, my God, take my money. You know, I just love this. And there's just like the sort of head gimmick, you know, you open up the head and you got these nice sort of like tracking goggles coming down, which Hot Rod uses to shoot on the shuttle and still manage to fucking miss it. Maybe why the Autobots have been losing the war for like 4 million years. There's that pose I just needed to do from the film, you know, when he's just, and there's these little blue special effects, which actually look awesome. You know, they fit really well. They can be used, you know, for either laser fire or the engine flames coming from the back of the car.
And then the same ones that come for that you use for Matrix as well.
Oh, it's a wonderful point there, Alexis. And there's some more poses. And it's just, I mean, I said I turned around the arm just to see if I can do it because I read some reviews, people complaining about that. And I turned it around and I thought, this is okay. I mean, this is the thing. We were complaining because he just couldn't get that perfect angle. But, you know, Jesus Christ, some of the Transformers are like freaking stone statues in comparison to this guy. You know, and I mean, some people complained about the gun from Hot Rod. You know, Transformers the movie, he didn't actually have a gun, which I don't know if that's really true. I know he tried to get a gun, which resulted in the planned death of Optimus Prime. And there you can swivel the hand, and you could put this saw attachment there. Now, you don't need to swivel the hand in the transformation. The hand stays out. So they actually put that swivel of the hand so you could put things like a saw. I mean, to me, that's just brilliant planning. You know, they've actually thought about this and what gimmicks you can actually do. You can store the weapons in the back, which is quite cool there. He is doing another conservative power pose. You know, there's the box. Box is beautiful. Not got the recyclable nature, which the Kingdom does. But you know what? If this costs a couple of trees, I don't mind. Yeah, again, you know, there was the contents there. There's the stage, you know, not bad, quite cool. Good scene from the car. Now, there's the car there. There's with the Takada version Hot Rod. Now, it's basically the same transformation as the Takada version, and with a little bit more panels when it comes to the front of the car to give those sort of like the same sort of bonnet. But the thing is, it's quite annoying with the clicky, but it's nothing like Run Amok and Runabout. So if you can survive the torture and hell, which was Runabout and Run Amok, Hot Rod will be easy. It's a bit of perseverance, but it eventually does get there. So it just involves holding things into place and getting those panels in. You can see that it might not have such a clean finish when it comes to the sort of like, you know, the sort of front bit of the car which comes down next to the engine. But yeah, it still looks good. The only thing is, and I'm still not sure because I haven't checked, is the back of the car isn't ideal. But I think that could have been sorted with just a different type of paint they used or something like that. There might be some add-on that comes on. But then again, I feel like I'm picking on it because the car does look beautiful. And there's the guns. I don't like the guns going on the engine. Some people have been very creative, use guns in another position, which I thought was quite clever. But I put the guns on the roof, mostly to hide that sort of yellow triangle thing. Well, you know, yellow kind of cross kind of thing, inverted cross. I don't know what that means, but on the sort of top of the sort of like car. But yeah, just a beautiful car.
Guns almost mimic his Target Master when you put them on the bonnet, I thought. Be interested if they do something like that.
Well, see, this is what I just wanted to say. Very next to Alexis was I want them to bring out maybe an adapter so you can put the Target Master on, because there's no port for you to fit the Target Master. So I would actually like to have that to come out there. But there's the cars with next to, you know, Sideswipe, Ratchet and RC and Optimus Prime. and the proportion is good. And to me, he's next to Sideswipe, which is one of the best cars in the Siege line. And to be honest, Hot Rod owns it, I think. He really does. And there it is there. And it's just, I mean, I've got to say, Robot Recruits were the people who got this out to me and were so helpful and so easygoing. And I really appreciate all the trouble they went to. You know, the fact they got me this fantastic character, you know, put a lot of effort in their part. So thank you again, Robot Recruits. I really do appreciate it. And I should have said that at the front, so I'm saying this at the end. Thanks again, Robot Recruits. You were fantastic. But, you know, this is the Hot Rod, and I just absolutely love the character. He is good, such a fun character, you know, and it's just like, you know, he's brought sexy back to the world of Transformers when it needed it the most, especially, you know, now we might have a wheelie coming in.
You saying Hasbro Justin Timberlake?
He's way beyond that. He's a male Megan Fox.
More sexy than Nisi.
Look of an anger. Way beyond
that. Would you be excited if they revealed the same style Rodimus Prime Studio Series 86?
Not if it's the same fucking cardboard, no. no, I would want my... in fact, what they did there, I think is... I mean, Paul's going to explain it a lot better than me. What they went there is went beyond something I would ever expect. So my expectations are like 100 now. And anything less than that would just start crashing down. And as I said before, you're almost making up things to complain about with that character. You know, with something, I mean, other characters like freaking Briggs, and that's even in the Siege line in comparison, you know, articulation wise. But anyway, I'm going to pass this on to Paul. So,
thank you, sir. And it's funny that picture, your pictures were amazing, and that picture of him with everyone around him in front of Unicron, it made me see how much of a figure he is, because everyone else is blocky and a little bit robotic. Not awful, but he just really stood out. And that's the thing that appealed to me the most, is that he is such a fucking figure. He is just a toy figure. He comes with loads of accessories for once. So thanks, Hasbro. They're doing what we've always wanted them to do. You get the saw, you get all the additional bits. I've got some photos here. But yeah, resoundingly, just in his robot mode, he is a step above anything. Probably Earthrise Prime. He's along with them. They're just a really good figure. So this is, what I've got is some comparisons. Just a couple of photos next to Masterpiece, because I collect Masterpiece and I collect Legends. I don't really collect a lot of Chug. I've sold my Hot Rod MP. This is a better Transformer than MP Hot Rod. So there he is next against Fans Hobby Powermaster Prime. They're doing a little strut. Then Mind Wipe has seduced him now over to his bad ways. He's just so poseable though. I didn't really put him in the car mode a lot. The transformation's fine. Didn't struggle with it at all. Done it hard panther, of course, such as my religion. And he slips straight into car mode. No issues at all. He's not as simple. He's not as, I don't want to say he's not simple. He's not as, when you get Sideswipe, he's an amazing Transformer. And when you transform him, the transformation's good, it's intuitive, and he slips into his car mode, which is also amazing. Brilliant. He's got two good alt modes. He's got one great alt mode and one great robot mode, what we want. There's nothing new in his transformation. You could give it to any seasoned Transformer fan. He could transform him. But there was little bits which had me guessing. And he's got these bits on his arms which come out and peg into his hands to cover his hands up in his alt mode. But they're not flimsy little bits like you would get on a Masterpiece robot. They're really secure. They really lock in tight. So I was really impressed with that. This is him in his alt mode next to Hardhead. So this is Hardhead from Mech Fans Toys. The alt mode's probably the only slightly disappointing bit. It's got really good things, which I think puts it ahead of Titan's Return. I think the front of it is much better and much more echoes that original G1 Transformer. What we can't forget is actually Titan's Return was more echoing IDW, wasn't it? I think people forget that quite a lot. Titan's Return was much more IDW stylized than G1. So it's a good tick off set, but yeah, definitely the back. It's a bit basic, isn't it? There's only a couple of paint colors there. And this is him next to Onslaught, I think it is. So this is Wei Jing's oversized Onslaught, dying, whereas Captain Rodimus has managed to latch on to
That's a fantastic photo there, Paul.
Oh, thank you. That's Playmobil from my son's Playmobil space set he's latching onto. So yeah, listen, he's worth it just for his robot mode, because it's such a brilliant figure, and you can pose him so poseable, not so unlike most MP stuff, because if you've got, especially Takara MP, if you've got that trying to put a gun in a Transformer's hand, it just falls out all the time, doesn't it, Alexis? This guy's secure, so he's got all the benefits you get from having a chug, where everything's secure, set in, but all the posability of a masterpiece. So yeah, fabulous model. The alt mode isn't amazing, but easily forgivable, and yeah, he's a definite pickup. I'm glad I've sold my MP Hot Rod and got him instead. He's brilliant. That's it for our little review of Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, and on to pickups.
I got this guy. Terry sent this guy to me. I always ship express with Terry. I recommend it. Extra $3, £2, so worth it. So this, he's pronounced Kongming. You can do a better job than me.
Kongming.
Kongming.
All right. So, but it's
just
obviously
put Ming on the end of that. That sounds shady.
Exactly. Anyway, so it is Legend Scale Brainstorm. It's the last in Mech Fans Toys Headmasters series. I've got a couple of shots I just put together today. Test out my new set. So please comment on the set if you like it or dislike it. So all of them in vehicle mode. Nice shot there, Headmasters. He interesting transformation. He's a little bit like Weird Wolf. One leg forward, one leg back. If that makes sense to you. From robot mode. Action shot here with Zeta's or ex-Toy World's Fortress Maximus here. He's very poseable. I must say, I felt, you know how some of the and Paul will know this, some of the original Mech Fans Toys plastics were just quite almost like bristly and like cheap, didn't they? This guy felt almost like, you know, almost like a soft plastic, man, like a, you know, ooh, it's got a nice little touch to it. You know, when you moved it around, it was almost like a chug style plastic. So Chromedome specifically has that. It's getting better. May that continue as well. His little chest comes down as well. I haven't got a picture of that, but his little chest comes down to reveal his tech specs as well. I've done different shots. I've done sort of like a normal shot and a blurry shot, so excuse the different shots here. So this is another one of those blurry shots. This is with Takara, or what's the version you had? SDS Fort Max Chromedome
SDCC
as well.
SDCC.
These are in a different order. It's really weird. Anyway, SDCC Chromedome. These are all going to be a really good order now. Again, action shot, another one of those, blurry shot. Put Prime in there as well, because obviously Prime featured in Headmasters for a little bit, so that's Magic Square Prime, so you can see how those pose as well. They're actually bigger than Prime, so these are Legends Plus, but for me it works. Again, you can always get a slightly bigger Prime as well. I know Rohan featured another Prime which was slightly bigger, the one with a weird sort of binary name as well. There he is. So again, Chromedome from Fortress Maximus does go quite well. He's a little bit bigger, hence why he's at the back there, but I thought they went quite good together. So you got the gang back together there. Yeah, I think that's it. There we go. So overall, happy with him. He's going to go on the shelf now for a long time. Also got MMC's Jaguar. This came out. It's the new version which comes with the cage and toon accurate colors. You pay, so the price I paid was close to what I paid for the original one. You couldn't get one of these for less than the original version, for less than like 80 odd quid. Account for 60, and then they realistically give you a cage for an extra like £10. So it was like, why not? And I was helping out our friend Damien in China as well, who couldn't get hold of one, so I sold him my old version. He got that about 4 months later, so a couple of weeks ago, and then they finally released this. So I've got that to go on, and the space on the shelf behind me, which I've been looking forward to filling. Kapow had a restock, so they restocked some of the IDW figures. From Iron Factory figures, sorry. So I got these two finally. So the big boys, so I've got nowhere to put them, so I have to work that one out. So I've got the last 2 to get now, which are the little nimbly ones. Do you need those 2 for the combiner? I don't think you do, do you? No, you don't do. So I'll pick them up at some point. There.
Wait, no, they come with the head. And they do. You do need them. You don't need those You don't need the 2 robots. You need the accessories it comes with.
Yeah, so I'll be looking for those next then.
If anybody's got them for sale, hit Alexis up.
I got a couple of extra Junkions. I wanted 2 more Junkions for bike mode, and again you can change them around as well. So I now have 8 Junkions. So I've got a bit of an army going on there, a bit of army building Junkions. And then last but not least, I thought this was quite an important one. Quite interesting. If you remember when we talked about other things that we might collect if we weren't collecting Transformers, I mentioned Lino, but I wasn't certainly sold on it. And
are we still doing that discussion, are we?
Well, it's a pickup. Got it this week.
Oh, pickups of anything. Sorry, I've got some batteries down here.
They stupidly released the Thunder Tank, didn't they? So if anyone didn't see it, they're actually going to release a Thunder Tank, which is going to be about 40 inches by. It can hold 6 of these figures. So I've gone now all in and I'll pick them all up. So I've got Mumra. He's coming on. Apparently lights up and stuff as well. So he looks pretty good. And I've got the other waves coming when they get ready.
I'm jealous. They do look good.
So I need a new
Still not Transformers, though.
No, it is Transformers because there was that thing that I said, which mattered a long time ago. Nice.
No.
Get your own show.
Wrong. Which wrong block.
Cool.
That's it, really. Thank you.
Real. Andy?
Well, this will be a lot shorter. I haven't picked up any bots this week, but what I did get, which I was quite chuffed with, was I picked up a few of the old books. So I already have this, my original one from childhood, but it's the Transformers puzzle book from 85, I think it was. £1.50 at the time. And
what puzzles are in there?
Things like matching the Insecticon to its alternate mode. I know that's tricky, so I won't test you on it right now, Alexis. Spot the difference with giant groin thrusting Megatron there. They're all looking, so that seems inappropriate. And most of it, the vast majority of it, hasn't been touched. So that's quite cool, which, because I have my original one, I might give that to my son Lucas, because he's starting to take an interest in Transformers. They also sent another copy of Megatron's Fight for Power. I actually still have my original, but again, Lucas has been reading this as his home reading book, so that's been quite cool to do with him. And the bit I was most interested in, another one of the Ladybird books that I've never had.
Never seen it.
Which is Autobot Strike Oil. So I now have the first 8 of the Ladybird books that were done, all 8 of them. I've never seen this one. I've seen it kind of, online and things, but I've never actually had a chance to have it in hand, and I didn't have it as a kid, so I managed to pick that up as well for all of them together from the groups, and it comes with its original story tape. So now all I need to do is source a tape player to actually play it on. But apart from that,
does your laptop not play tapes?
It's not that up to date. Jesus Christ. I'm still on LPs. I'm still on vinyl here.
Cartridge.
But can I just show off the art? How often will I see misfire in that wonderful? Look at the detail on that hot rod there.
Awesome.
Terrifying.
It's looking like Mona Lisa. It's fantastic.
I still remember that.
Oh, I'm just getting too excited now.
look at Hot Rod's face.
Well, get me a box of tissues.
Oh no!
I've got that.
That should be our cover for our show.
I love it. It's shut. It's great. They're all based on the toys as well. I mean, look at Cup. That's based on the toy.
The rest of my head is flat. I have half a brain.
Well, it says made in Japan here. What does this mean? Oh yeah,
it's really great. It was a lot of fun having a look through it and everything. And who doesn't love headless headmasters? For all the people who have their incomplete headmasters to finish
it
off.
just goes to prove my theory, but you don't need a head for your body.
Exactly.
There was a famous experiment done in the chicken like that.
I want to drink wine.
Okay, sorry, Jamie. More pickups.
Yes, so I've been quite lucky this week, so I'm just going to go straight into sharing this. So I've got basically, oh, what's this? So basically, I've got the Galactic Odyssey gift sets, which are basically very MicroMaster orientated. And there's the whole bunch of the crew together, just in one nice happy family shot. And there we have everything nice and transformed, that sort of eventual set you'll end up with after you go through all the stages. There's all the MicroMasters together. So there's Bocholos' rescue mission set. And basically, you know, it's basically just redos sort of molds. So you've got basically an Ironworks and an Over-Air painted in sort of Skylinks type of colours, you know, as they go off to rescue Skylinks, which is stuck in another sort of Skylinks universe. And you've got two MicroMaster combiners there. And there's the other MicroMaster team. So there you've got your Ironworks and Over-Air, but Over-Air and Ironworks, I should say. Oh, no, Ironworks and Over-Air.
You mean Airways?
Well, no, but that's the names in the box set.
Oh, they're called Ironworks and Over-Air. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. I thought it was supposed to be a different character.
Well, I think it might be, but, you know, I think that might be the name of the mold. To be honest, it's quite hard to actually get the names. You know, I should look in the instructions, but, you know, in a lot of places, this is what they've been calling them.
Airwave was the bad guy.
To be honest, though, I mean, the names aren't really that important, I don't find. You know, Chief, Sheriff. You know,
I like those names.
It's there is maybe sort of mold brothers there, and the colour is absolutely fantastic. The bright colours for the entire set, even when you look at MicroMasters, might make you think cheap plastic. It definitely is not. In fact, there's more detail in there in the photos that actually give you credit for. There's a lot of typography there. There's lots of nice touches, and the paintwork is fantastic. There they are in the different configurations. Just quickly go through these. And there you have your MicroMaster team combiners. Again, they're fantastic. I think their name is like Missile Master, Moon, Rock, Phaser, and Ass Blaster.
I'm sorry, Ass Blaster.
Yeah.
You mean Astro Blaster, or is he actually called Ass Blaster? Because that's the greatest Transformer name in all history.
This is I don't know if that's the name I've just made up.
Gash Smasher.
You know,
Ass Blaster. Oh, I thought that was Paul's grinder name.
Or someone on Wikipedia has just edited this tonight and just having a laugh at my expense, the bastards.
Oh, I love it.
You know, but yeah.
That's made my night.
Ass Blaster.
Sorry, go on, sorry.
Absolutely, the paintwork in these is fantastic. Absolutely good. Nice, solid MicroMasters. You have to be for an Ass Blaster, I guess. And yeah.
They look so good, though. They do look. The repaints of MicroMasters we've already had, they look.
Do you know the plastic feels a lot better? Because I had the originals and they were so clicky and annoying to use, and these guys were so much easier just to transform. The only disappointing bit is when it comes to the missile section, the only character you can actually put in there is actually a headmaster. You know, it's too small to really have a MicroMaster in there. And
it's
there you have
Dealer's missile, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. You got Double's Dealer missile, which, you know, just adds to that effect, doesn't it? It's quite a cool touch. It's like they like to blast off to rescue Skylinks. I don't know why you would want to rescue Skylinks. He's a bit of a chauvinist pig, to be honest. And then we go into the next set, which is your MicroMaster sort of 6-box set. And as I said before, they've kind of got these sort of shagadelic colours, you know, quite bright, you know. But to be honest, up close and personal, there's a lot of detail there, and there's actually variants in the colour as well. And the plastic is really good. Apart from the blue one does feel quite pish. I don't know what the hell happened there, but the other ones are pretty solid. You know, the two cars, the orange car and the sort of aqua sort of blue car, you know, are both fantastic cars. And I think their names are basically Runner, Motorhead, Sting, Racer, Fireguard, Roadrunner, and Windstorm. So nice, legitimate names, I would presume. No one said it to them for having a laugh at my expense. No. But yeah, they do look good. You know, the engines out there. I mean, I think that it's like to take a homage to Mask. I think someone said, I'm not seeing it myself.
One's to the right.
Yeah, the two on the far right.
But you know, they do look brilliant, and you know they really transform really well and solid. In fact, the only one who didn't really transform too well was the yellow car. Here's some more shots, just showing you head comparisons. Is the paintwork, you know, is absolutely gorgeous. You know, you can see it in the middle one there. You know, there's been a lot of effort there placed into this.
You upset me so much, Jamie, because I really wasn't that bothered about that set. And then I saw your photos that you put on TF UK, and now I actually think I might have to try and get it, because it has so much of that Countdown vibe to it from G1, and I loved Countdown.
The only thing I would say when you transform this set is Sting Racer is make sure that useless gun handle you've got is in front of his head. So that way you get enough clearance to put the bonnet to have a nice flush finish. The other molds, you don't really need to do that, but for some reason the gun handle is a bit longer here, his head's a bit bigger, so it does get stuck if the gun handle is behind it. So you really want to have that gun handle, which is basically this, out in the front. You don't want it behind the head. You want it out in the front so you get a nice flush finish. You know, so trying to show that. You know, if you have it behind the head, you're just not going to be able to get it in there. You might force and warp the plastic. And if you keep doing it, especially if you're drunk and you're trying to transform it, you might break something. So, yeah, just a little word of warning. Quite simple and easy to do if you're sober, though.
Yes, there you go.
Scorpion.
Wow.
That's the
go.
Mask.
This is like it was planned.
Mum-ra. I thought I'd get my mask out. And yeah, that's what he's based on.
You just had that lying around.
That's where I'm running from.
So yes, as Andy was said, you got the double deal rocket thing, which is just absolutely brilliant. Awesome fun. And it's a very solid looking set. I also got myself another Arachnia. You know, I was a bit worried about how a lot of people would talk about Arachnia transforms and how tabs can break. And I thought after my jumping failure at Hard Panther with a Micromaster, I'd best not take any chances and get it back up. And I've got another Cyclonus because, you know, he is that good. And yes, I have ordered another Hot Rod, so I'll be getting another one of those. But yeah, that is my pickups. So thanks,
great
guys.
stuff. Thank you so much.
Cyclonus and his Armada.
Right, time for Arrowfyre. Over to you, Arrowfyre.
Hello everyone, it's Arrowfyre. Now today, I don't really have anything to talk to you about, as weird as it may seem. But what I want to say is, let's think about what we've had, what we've got, and in particular, the War for Cybertron trilogy. Now, since Siege came out, the toy line and the TV series, we've had a plethora of new toys, and some of the Chug line that we have been getting has been incredible. Some of the designs, the engineering have been exceptional, and this is actually tying into a video that Borders did quite recently. Have we ever had it so good as Transformers fans? We probably haven't, and let me expand on. Think of all the characters we haven't seen. We've had Double Dealer, we've had Run Amok, we've had Ape Face, we've had all of these great characters, and think of the ones that obviously have made the series, like Earthrise. You've had Skylynx that made an fairly brief appearance. We had Scorponok, an Earthrise Scorponok. I can't believe how good we have had it in this particular trilogy alone. We've got a whole new TV series out of it, and we've got 3 toy lines, not to mention the ones we have yet to see. We still don't know what the Kingdom Commander class is going to be, and we're going to get an actual arc, a transforming arc. Just let that sink in. For the first time in a lot of collectors' careers, you are going to actually have a playset, I would imagine, a playset type of an arc, of the arc. Think of what you can do for your collections with that. Think about how you can display it with your Chug Legends figures. It's really kind of a golden age, dare I say it, the golden age of Transformers collecting. You can see how much effort Hasbro have put into this particular toy line. It does make me very hopeful because it's brought people back into the Chug line. It's kind of taken people like myself, I'm not the biggest Chug collector out there, but I couldn't ignore it. I couldn't ignore some of the figures that they brought out. It's taken me away from third party. But it gives me a lot of faith. Think about what the next trilogy is going to be after War for Cybertron. If Hasbro do that again, I just think we've got nothing but an upward trajectory to go on. But anyway, that's all from me. I'll hand you back to the guys from the show.
Cheers, mate. That was good. All right, on to our final discussion of tonight. So our discussion for today is going to be about our favourite 86 movie character. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Cool.
RC. No, Hot Rod. Except I'm going to pick a tea-set dinner lady type character. No, I'm not. I'm only kidding. RC is a fantastic water type character.
That's the Japanese version,
you know. And IDW turned into a psychotic sociopath, you know, so I wouldn't mess with RC, you know, but Hot Rod is my favourite character. I discussed that in the review. Well, I didn't really mention it too much in the review, but Andy sussed it out. He's like that. He's a cunning, sly fox. Don't let that dumb working class northern accent, you know, fool you into a false sense of security, because, you know, he is sharp, you know.
Thanks,
sharp as a brick. You know, sharp as a solid brick. I know, you know, but Hot Rod is my man. The way he manipulated the situation to become holder of the Matrix is, to me, is one of the greatest moments. Yeah, it's like Shakespeare couldn't have written it any better. Oh, I'll go for the gun. Oh no, Megatron, don't use me as a shield. You know, Optimus Prime can't shoot for shit. But yeah, so yeah, fantastic character. He's young, he's dashful, he's learning on his feet. He hasn't got a gun, but he's got these cool laser things on his side there, which are just fantastic. They do the job. He's full of witty remarks and humour. He can repair people. He's a medic. I mean, he helped Cup. You know, when it came to Sharkticons and they knew they were outnumbered, he didn't care. He just said, you know, we haven't got enough, you know, energon or whatever, laser fire to kill these Sharkticons, but we can give him one hell of a repair bill. You know, he's just got the humour. You know, he's just always on there. And then when Galvatron is trying to choke the air out of him, he was laughing because he went, you dumb fuck, I'm a robot. I don't need oxygen. But strangle away. You know, he managed to grab that Matrix and turn himself into Rodimus Prime. And then save the day, kill Unicron, have Unicron lose his head literally as his whole body exploded. In fact, I wonder if we'll bring out an accessory set for the Unicron where you can have a damaged eye. I don't know.
That would be good.
So that's my discussion. I don't think I can say any more because Hot Rod is perfection.
Oh, I think many of our, especially growing up, he was such a hero. I think a lot of our choices would be. So it'd be interesting to see if it's not. So, Alexis, your favorite 86 movie character, who would it be?
I just thought it was interesting how Jane pointed out, obviously Hot Rod was trained in the same dojo as Brawn to not have a gun on the battlefield. And what happened to Brawn in the movie? We all know what happened to Brawn in the movie. So, and
what happened to him?
He went on vacation.
Spoiler.
I thought he was died off.
No, he got a caravan
your favorite character.
And if you get the Swarm version of X-Transbots Elagos, it comes with the eye, you know, the Metroplex eye. He tries to, that Starscream's ghost tries to put it to Unicron, so you actually get one of those eye accessories in that set.
You work for X-Transbots.
No, just point out.
Are you on the mission?
I was like, no.
It's only to you to tell us your favorite.
Your favorite character is X-Transbots.
Favorite character from the 86 movie.
It's difficult. It's difficult to have one. I really liked a lot of Grimlock's bits. I loved, the scene. Grimlock just seemed to just be fearless throughout the whole movie. Like, first of all, guarding the moon base, right? Then takes on Devastator, leads the charge, right? Takes a kick to the chest, right? Takes out one of the actual sweeps just with his bad breath, all right? And then goes after Galvatron and takes out Psychoanalysis thing. loves Cups War stories. Ate a ton load of Sharkticons. That was one of the best entrance scenes, wasn't it? When they come through the doors, and then takes on the Planet Eater himself and kicks butt. I just thought, throughout the whole thing, he actually seemed quite tactical and quite fearless. So I really liked Grimlock. For me, probably, I would say is probably my character. It's hard to pick one because you watch it so many times and everyone loves Wheelie, right? But I think Grimlock just edges it above Wheelie. So for me,
no, good choice. Right, Andy, your favourite?
Well, as Alexis said, Wheelie would be the obvious choice. I mean, is there a character in Transformers history who's more well loved? But I'm going to go with Galvatron because I just think
it's not an Autobot.
Screw the Autobots; they're boring. Galvatron was the best. I still think he was the best on-screen bad guy we've had, especially voiced by Leonard Nimoy as well. I saw the film in the cinema when I was a kid, and I just always remember that character of Galvatron standing out. And of course, it was a bit of a shock for us because Hasbro faked us all out and told us that Ultra Magnus and Galvatron were just the city commanders. And then you went to watch the film and you found out that they were the new leaders, or at least Ultra Magnus was for a very short time anyway. But Galvatron, I mean, there's so many moments in the film when he was just kicking ass. Even when he got beaten by Hot Rod, he didn't really. All he did was pick him up and throw him out in space. He didn't destroy him. He didn't kill him. He didn't end his threat. He just threw him through Unicron's apparently paper-thin sides. And the bit where he flies into Starscream's coronation, and then that classic line, Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint, and then blasts it into oblivion. Spoilers. Is just so fantastic, so iconic, and I just loved the depiction of him. And then of course, you got the toy back in the 80s, and it looked almost nothing like he did, and, and all the rest of it. But in the movie, that version of Galvatron, I just think was fantastic.
You're right. It's Blast Master, not.
What were you going to get?
Not anymore, Jamie. It'll be Ass Master till the day we die now.
Was he the one with the big rocket on his ass?
2000.
Was that the
Anyway, go on, Paul.
I prefer the name Ass Master. I thought that was quite brave in today's climate.
Quite brave. I love you thought it was a statement. No,
that's
damn all you liberals. We're calling it ass.
Oh dear. Right.
Anyway, this one, Bull Tickler. Oh, they've gone all out here. Bull Tickler.
No, he was in the GoBots. Anyway,
right. So my favourite, I think, if I look at the '86 movie, my favourite probably is Kranix. So that's all we've got time for today on Transformers the Show. Thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, we've got figures, toys, and bots. If you stay with us, there'll be a link today in TFUK. What's TFUK? Well, it's the Facebook group you should be searching for. So go online, look for TFUK, find us there, watch the show, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Welcome to Transformers the Show, episode 55. On today's show, we've got all the news, all the views, all the reviews, Studio Cell. Oh, fuck, it's not Studio Cell, it's Studio Series. All the whole time I was calling Studio Series.
You were rolling then as well.
Why don't you write it down?
3, 2, 1. I don't need it written down. I'm a pro. 3, 2, 1. Bad AIDS. Good AIDS. Good AIDS is fine. Yeah, but I'm reading the kanji below. It says that I think it says blue figurine will be included in the next release. So I think that will be. They're not both coming Magnus. For each robot.
That might be Magnus then. So they might be doing a Magnus. That'd be really interesting to do.
Like the way they both have the same face. With
do you know what? Because Fans Toys have. Because again, every time that someone says I'm going to do a robot like a Transformer, Fans Toys always say, "Oh, I've got one." I always try and release a render to screw everyone else over, and sometimes it works.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
That wasn't it.
And that was the news.
That was the news.
I showed a photograph of a particular Thundercat.
Yeah, but it's not Transformers.
It's not Transformers. This is not Thundercat.
Get
my God! You need
hippie.
to share.
Get stuff. No, we don't need to share. If we needed to share something, it should be pictures of Megan Fox.
Because you're a massive Hot Rod fan, aren't you?
Because you've done fucking Thundercats, which aren't even Transformers.
Hot Rod.
I want to drink wine.
Excellent.
As a bit of the show, I'm going to show where I got it from. Literally 2 minutes. I want to say about the 3D printer stuff and where to get it from.
All right, my face won't be impressed though.
Well, you can be like this face, and that's not impressive either. Do you want me to do it now, or do you want to count me in?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
3, 8, 2.
I would pay for you to cut this out for the show.
I want to drink wine.
Well, that's a shame.